Live. Okay, it says we are live. It says we are live.
Hey, everyone.
Okay. Well, so far we've got nobody here.
Probably got nobody here, early bird.
Reminder. I didn't send out a reminder either. Let me do that real quick. That does help. So, whoops, that didn't work. That says live in 13 days, so that's not going to do any good.
That's not this one.
Wrong one. What is today's date? Today would be somebody's 18. Here. 8/18. I wish these things would show up on my list in date order, but they do not.
No, they don't show up in mine on date order either, which is odd.
Home. There we go. Now it says we're live. Yay, we're live. Okay, now we can get all the messages. Hello, Miss Amy.
Oh, hi, Amy.
I was just going to share this out as a reminder because I forgot to do that before. Hi. Do that. And go over here and copy link and go to the messenger. Do that. And here we go. And there we go. Okay, there's the little reminder. Ta-da-da. And we're back. Oh, how is everybody?
I have such trouble with doing a double crochet and then the next stitch of front post crochet and doing that all the way around because I feel like I'm missing a stitch, like skipping a stitch that I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But I don't. But it confuses me all the time. I'm easily confused.
The front post double is one of my favorite stitches. I don't know why. I just love the way that it looks.
Yeah.
I like the way
it's a back post, not a front post.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes. So, what are you working on, Amy?
Amy, what are you working on? What are you doing? She's got a ladybug. She's got a ladybug up on the screen, working in her garden. Weather's cooled down for a bit. That's nice.
That's nice. It has warmed up, so it's nice too.
It has here as well. In fact, I've got to get the high lows for today. Scarf and a hat. I was just as we came on, I had done a little teeny tiny bit of work on this on my little hat thing here, and of course it's a mess because it's knit, so I have no idea what I'm doing fighting with this thing. I don't know why I don't know whatever possessed me to think I could knit. I don't know.
You can knit. You know you can knit.
But I'm starting to work on this hat. And so Miss Cheryl had to help me with something. So, but I think what she showed me is going to help a lot.
That's good.
So that's going to be good. 5, 1, 2, 3. Of course, I'm working on a chart. And I'm going to get these 2 stitches done and then put it down because there's a lot of counting. And y'all know that there's no counting and talking at the same time. That's
no. All I'm doing is a one double crochet, one back post crochet all the way around, and I'm having trouble concentrating on that.
And 2. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do with that. And I'm going to mark it with the B. Mark it with something.
If you like, I'll just do a little video for you of that to show you what happened, like to remind you what happens when you carry your yarn.
There we go. That's where I am. Okay, put this thing away. Oh, man. I spent all day fighting with this. But I'm finally to a point where, 3 or 4 hours of fighting with it. And now I'm to a point where I feel like I know what I'm doing.
That's good.
Progress on it. So that's good. That is good.
Have you started work on your cross stitch at all?
I have not. I've got the center point marked, the starting point marked. I've got all of the temperatures marked on my little chart. And except for yesterday, I forgot to do yesterday. So I'm completely caught up to yesterday with my dates, which is funny because now if I wait till tomorrow, that'll be the exact center part starting point.
Oh, okay. So you work from the center out, do you?
You work when I start a cross stitch, you start in the middle and you work out. That's just the way I was taught to do it.
Okay.
And so it just happens that is the hello, Miss Linda.
Hi, Linda.
That tomorrow is the center starting point of this, so I can work backwards this way. And it wouldn't matter if it were like a picture. I would be in, like, say this is the center point. I could work up, or over, or down, or whatever. And on this one, since we have the information for here, I'll like go this way, and then I'll go up and go like that. So it'll be fine. But it's just funny that with everything, when everything was said and done, tomorrow ends up being the exact center point of it. So I can go like that, work my way backwards, and then if I'm smart, I can work my way backwards and forward at the same time and keep up to date. But yeah, we know Robin's not that smart.
Yeah, Robin is that smart.
So
you've done a lot of cross stitches.
Yes. Yeah, I have. And so that's a good thing. What else? And
that's good too, to have projects that you're confident with and mixed in with projects that you're learning and stuff.
And then this is the shawl. And oh my gosh, that was something else.
Yeah.
That was something else. But I ended up with 540, 50, 60 some stitches. I don't know. Ended up with more stitches than I intended to when everything was said and done. So I'm going to finish this row. This was the first row. You guys, Cheryl found a magic way of, she found magic. Magic.
It is pretty cool.
It is magic. So I may have mentioned a timer 50 that I do not like the foundation crochet process, foundation single or whatever. I struggle with it. I finally have learned how to do it. Boy, I made a mess there. I don't know what I did. I have finally learned how to do it, but it is so slow. So the other night I was talking to Miss Linda, and we were talking for well over an hour, and I got about 20 stitches done, and I needed 500 and some. I'm like, this ain't going to work. And so Cheryl said, well, do the long tail cast on thing I showed you. And I'm like, no, this isn't knitting, it's crochet. And she goes, yeah, crochet. Yeah, like I told you, crochet. Hey, Miss Gwen. And so she sent me the video, and I watched it, and I only had to watch it a couple times, and it was pretty darn easy. I couldn't show you now, but it was pretty darn easy, and it's basically the same movement as if you were casting on with knitting. It's like two little movements with your yarn, and it would have been even easier if I had one ball of yarn, skein of yarn balled up. If I'd had two skeins of yarn balled up, it would have been even easier. But so I ended up using the outside and the center of my yarn. Boom, 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 boom. And it worked up just slick. And so you ended up, let's see if I can get this so you can see what I've done here. So you ended up with, can you see? Anyway, that's the top. So those are my chain stitches. where I'll put my first. But anyway, you can tell it's the chain in the first stitch, chain in the first single crochet right there, and it is beautiful. It almost looks like a box stitch. It's so nice.
Yeah, and it's nice and stretchy as well.
Oh yeah, super stretchy. Look at this, super stretchy stitch, which is what I wanted. So I'm almost done. This is all I've got left to do of that first row. And my first row I'm doing, because I'm making this up as I go along, of course. And so I'm doing a back post single crochet as my first stitch. So even that's taking a little bit more time than it would have otherwise. And I decided to use an E, a 3.5.
Okay, yeah. I've got to think what I was using on your shawl.
I couldn't remember, and I was going to use the 3.5, and I thought I'm going to go to the 3.75, which is what I used for my cast on, my chain. And so I was comfortable with it.
I can't remember now if I used a 3.5 or a 4.5.
A 4.5? 4.5 seems big.
It does.
But if you did, I'd be very happy with that.
I can't remember. I have it written down somewhere. The elusive somewhere.
Right.
Yeah. Well, what I did.
But this is, this thing is long. It's already long. And I know it's going to shrink up a bit as I get a couple rows in it, but it's already longer than well, I'll get to the end of this while we're talking, and then I'll do a wrap around and see what it looks like.
Yeah, sometimes you need a few rows though to see how much it's going to shrink up. And it's not something that you would want extra tight anyway if it's going to wrap around. So,
because yours ended up being almost 7 feet long, right?
Yes. And that was, I think I chained 322.
No, you said 4 something. You told me like 450.
No.
Yes, you did. Because that's why I did 5 something. You're going to have to find those.
I could count them, but no, I'm pretty sure I didn't do. If I did 450, you're probably thinking I used a 4.5 hook, 4.5. Because I'm pretty sure like 321 and 322 ring a bell. Oh, I have it here.
I think I did 240 or something like that with the 3-weight, 4-weight, 3-weight.
I'll count. I have it here. I'll count.
Oh, okay. Good Lord, that's beautiful. Now I'm getting all sweaty. So Miss Mama Gwen, what are you working on? Miss Amy's making a hat and a scarf set. We have to be quiet. She's counting. Shh. Hi, Steve. It's very long. Cheryl's counting. Shh.
Okay, I've got to 100.
Okay.
That's 100 stitches.
No. Then I've made this thing way too long.
So we'll see. So I'm like I said, I'm 99% sure it's 322 stitches.
Because she has to wrap it all the way around her. It's not just like a shawl.
Yeah. And so mine would just be like this wrap.
Yeah.
I mean, it's longer than my wingspan.
But if it's too long, it won't work. Damn it! Ah!
Yeah. Yeah. So that's me holding the edges, and it's going around me, and I'm a chunky lady. So that's huge.
Okay,
And
and
I'm
then
sure
how many do you have?
I'm sure I'll keep counting, but I'm sure I said 322 is
Well, but
my
if you're at 100 already, just fold it. Doop, doop, doop.
okay. Don't you be sensible with me, young lady.
I would never, never.
Oh no, caught up on the chair. Okay, so where's that? I haven't woven in my ends on this yet either. That's one.
I wrote down on my instructions how many I did for the DK.
2.
I did 244 with DK. So yeah, I
Mm.
bet you did do 350. Oh. Don't mind me while I have a little heart attack right here.
So that's what's left over after doing 300. So let's see roughly.
It's pretty close to 400 then. I feel better now. I'm going to finish this row and then I'll measure it. I'll do a Steve measure.
Yeah, I'd still be curious to see if I counted completely. Wish I could find that piece of paper too.
Oh, you will.
Yeah, after we don't need it, that's when
Yeah.
it will come up.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm sure
Yeah, this is a fingering weight though.
Where is
Gwen, this one's a fingering weight.
right. And I saved my little piece of paper. I have somewhere in the neighborhood of 545 stitch, 545 chains, give or take 5 or 10. Because I counted it multiple times. And I figure I can always lose a few. Plus, the cuff is going to be snug.
Mm.
So that'll, and you can always roll that cuff up. You can fold that cuff in half and lose 4 inches on both ends.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay.
So how many? Sorry, I'll just write down. How many did you do?
Like 540-ish.
540.
545-ish. It was more than I had intended.
Yeah.
Because I ended up with some extras now and again.
Okay. And yours is a fingering weight. What's the specs on it though? Like how many yards per 100 grams or 200 grams or meters?
400 meters, and it says 28
grams.
28 to 32 stitches equals 4 inches or 10 centimeters, if that says anything. Or for crochet, it's 22 to 25 single crochets is 10 centimeters.
Yep. Okay, so this is 400 meters as well, in 100 grams. So they'd have about the same.
Pretty much the same, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
okay.
Single crochets for 4 inches. That I did not do. Okay, so 4 inches, 4 inches. Let's see. 1, 2. Oh, I've cut way more, I think. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, no, can't do that. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I got 25 stitches is 4 inches. Huh, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. For this size hook, it should be 25 stitches in 4 inches. So I'm exactly on whatever they call that, gauge. How can that be?
I don't know. You must have
I've
stuffed up
messed up.
somewhere, Robin.
Yeah, I'm sure. Didn't count right or something. Good Lord. Okay, anybody want to see my square of the week? So, square of the week. Garter Zig Zag stitch. Garter Zig Zag stitch. I liked it a lot. I actually liked it this week. And there it is. I got all this way without making a mistake. And then somehow I got off a row. And of course, did not realize it till I finished it. Garter Zig Zag stitch. So, as per usual, there's my mistake. But I did like it. I liked this week's. So that's done.
Excellent.
And
the next one
is the, oh dear, something pearl, diagonal pearl. Looks like a step ladder. I know, Steve, I liked it even with that. And I was so careful. Oh, well, nothing new.
I did a rough calculation for you there, Robin, and your thing should be 86 inches wide.
That's a long ways. That's a long wide.
That's a long wide.
How many feet is that? 86.
7 feet.
How many? 12 feet?
7 feet. Yeah, 7, 12, 84.
No, 86 divided by 12 is 7 feet. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
7 feet, 2 inches.
I'm going to look at the, I know, I am learning. I'm learning stuff. And you know what else I noticed, Steve? I noticed the other night when I was knitting, I'm knitting much faster than I used to, except for today. Today I did not knit fast. But I noticed when I'm working on my blocks that I can do a block basically in an evening, 3 or 4 hours of knitting, where before it would be a whole day and it would take me 2 or 3 days to do a block, one of these blocks. So just the fact of just the practice of that, I'm getting better. And yes, I'm still making mistakes, but I think even my mistakes are like, that mistake, I got my count off on one block.
Yeah.
And now the next one, having looked at it, it's the count's going to be very, very important. And
so that's this one.
Yeah, I really like the way that looks.
Yeah, it does come up. It has come up nicely, that one.
That's one that actually I actually like the way it looks. And I can see many, many mistakes in my future on that one. That one's going to be a nightmare for me.
We'll just call that one measles. When I have little spots,
little spots everywhere. Yeah.
Random spots everywhere.
While I've got several of you here, I need to let you know we won't be having class next week. We won't be having video next week. My granddaughter's a different granddaughter than this is having her bridal shower next week. I don't know for sure how long it's going to last, so I'm just going to say hello, Miss Deb. So I'm just going to plan on not having the live next week. Yeah, this is a surprise wedding for us. I got an invitation to the bridal shower, and I'm like, excuse me?
Oh, okay.
Excuse me? What? Bridal shower? So yeah, I found out 2 weeks ago, and they're getting married in 2 weeks. 2 weeks
Oh
from
my
now.
goodness.
And
Wow.
yep, they're going on. They've known each other. They've been dating since she was 16 maybe, and she's
Okay.
like 22 now. And um they broke up once and got back together like 6 months later. And he's got a good job, and she's got a good job, and they're buying a house. They're doing everything right. And they just decided, instead of spending a bunch of money on a wedding, they're just going to go off and they've on a beach in Oregon and get married, and his parents and her parents, and that's it. I'm like, okay,
Okay.
done and
Nice.
done. So
No bingo tomorrow night, Gwen. It's every second week, so
yeah,
it's
we had it last
second.
week, so I'll double check the date for you, Gwen. It
Yes,
is the
weddings can get
26th
so
is the
ridiculously
next bingo.
expensive.
Nope, 26th is the next bingo. Yeah. So yeah, so we're gonna have their shower and spend some time together. And
Nice.
so what we've started calling sit and stitch.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, we've done the anthology. That's it. Okay, bye everyone. See you later. See you next week.
But yeah, I'm real pleased with I like the way this week's block turned out, even though it's got my one little boo-boo in it. The mandatory boo-boo. And I like what's on the thing for next week. I do like that block. So many of the blocks we haven't cared for at all. And then what, we've got four left after that.
Something like that. The jumper that you want to make, or sweater, sorry, that rib stitch, the garter rib stitch on it, that's going to be one of the squares in a couple of weeks in this anthology.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in
You'll have to
September
let me know which
sometime.
one it is, and I'll have to pay very special close attention.
Yes. So it won't be, when you get to do the jumper, it won't be new. And then the rest of the jumper's stocking stitch. So,
pretty much.
yeah.
I'm sure there's a little bit of.
Oh, there'll be shaping and picking up around the collar, I think, for the ribbing at the collar.
Yeah.
That's not hard. It's seriously, you've got a crochet hook, you'll pick up stitches easy.
Yeah. We had a knitting sit and stitch at the shop today because nice. Yay, Miss Deb's coming to Boise. Super excited. I asked, so you guys know that we're a vendor there, and that's for the Yarny Social. And I asked Miss Dana the other day, I'm like, okay, what exactly is it you want me to bring? She said, all your yarn. I'm like, no, that's not going to happen because you didn't give me much space. So the vendor spaces they're decent sized. They're not as big as what I would normally have at a vendor space that I do at a craft fair. But she forgot that they made arrangements for me to share my space. So I only have half of a space. And yeah. So
this is the Pacific Northwest Yarny Social thingy.
Right. So I will be bringing yarn. I will be bringing my bags. I will be bringing stitch markers and earrings. And I will be bringing probably just like a poster or a flyer or something, if I have any left, about the holiday bags.
Oh, right.
And that's about it. Oh, I think I'll probably have some mystery yarn bags there. Hello,
Hi,
Miss Doris.
Doris.
There is another lady there with, and she has lovely, lovely hand dyed yarns. So I won't have any hand dyed yarns. I still have not connected up with a hand yarn dyer, hand yarn dyer, a dyer of hand yarns. For two reasons. One being slightly overwhelmed. Although I'm catching up, I'm getting to that point. And the second being I can't afford to buy a line of hand dyed yarns. So I need to find somebody who's willing to put their stuff in the shop for sale. I guess maybe consignment would be the right word.
Mm.
And I did have somebody call me the other day looking for hand dyed yarns, and I'm like, sorry, I don't have any. I got so yes. Okay, so a good thing and a bad thing. So today I got an order through the shop, through the website, and it always surprises me when I get a website order that isn't from one of you guys. And it was a complete stranger, and she ordered some of the candles, some of the Judy's candles that I listed, and I was so excited. Well, somehow the shipping got messed up. The shipping amount got messed up. But so I'm like, okay, well, we'll eat. It's about half of the shipping. And it was a sizable order, so I was happy with that. And so I was going to the shop anyway today because we had the knitting group that was going to meet there today. So I'm like, great. So I'll go there and I'll pull the order and I'll get it boxed up. And I just happened to had gotten something in the mail the other day. It was the perfect size box to put this order in, these candles. And I looked at the order and I pulled the candles. The candles were not the scent that I had them listed as. Because I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. When I took the pictures and I saw the picture on the front of the candle, and that's what I listed them on in the website. I'm like, it was like fresh rose or something like that. And I went, fresh rose, count 6. Well, it wasn't. Every one of the 6 candles was a different scent, and I didn't realize that.
Okay, yes.
So I had to contact the lady and tell her I messed up, that when I posted them, I did not realize that the 6 candles I had, each one was a different scent. I listed the scents out that I had, and I told her one of them, and it was this scent, that it had a tiny little scrape on the label, because I know how some people are. Now, me, it wouldn't have mattered a bit, but I know how some people are, and I wanted to be upfront with her. And so she was very gracious. She wrote back to me immediately, thanked me for letting her know. She picked out the scents that she wanted. She did not want the one with the scrape on the label. That's fine. Thanked me for the good customer service, which I felt like it was terrible customer service, that I didn't even have the right stuff listed.
No.
And I told her I'd have her order out first thing tomorrow morning. And she was just very, very gracious about the whole thing. And then I told her that, she was, the one scent she was looking for specifically. I told her that after she receives the candles, if it's everything she's ever hoped for, I'll try to find more of that scent and get an order in for her. But she was very, very nice. And then when she gets, in like maybe tomorrow or something, I'll let her know, okay, they're in the mail. I want to ask her how she found, how she came across our website. Because I want to know how people are finding us. The zigzag garter stitch. Oh, that's the one that we did this week. That's this one. Can you see it, Doris? It's really pretty. Well, there's mine with the mistake in the middle of it. You probably should see Cheryl's without the mistake. Because so that line right there is the mistake. There you go.
We actually did them in
Here, let
similar
me make you
colours.
big. That's funny. Our colors are almost identical this week. Okay, go lift yours up a little higher. There you go. So pretty.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah, no. Yeah, and I did just contacted her the second I realized what I had done. And, obviously, and I gave her the option of, canceling her order or just accepting the one that I had in that scent.
Yeah, I agree, Amy. That's what I was going to say to Robin, that it's not big, like customer service isn't getting everything right on your website. It's fixing problems with no hassle and attitude and, being accommodating and
okay.
But also firm. Don't let the customer walk all over you.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, Gwen.
Yeah.
So, no, the bad thing that happened, was it yesterday or the day before? I had, through the messenger, somebody wanted to order one of the bags. And I'm like, okay. And so we're going through the thing, and I, told him how much it was going to be with the shipping. And he's like, sure, no problem. And I said, PayPal, because I felt like with a complete stranger, I felt like PayPal, the PayPal business account was probably the safest one. And so I was quick trying to set up a PayPal business, and I did that, and I sent him the link, and he's like, okay, just a minute. And all of this is all like going on for probably over the course of an hour, a few back and forth. And you guys remember maybe a year, and maybe recently, but I hadn't had one for 6 or 8 months, where it would be, blah, 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 blah. And thank you for, handling this for me. And here's an extra $50 or something for your inconvenience. It wasn't anything like that. There was nothing on there that set off alarms. And I even sent it to Dana, and she did a little searching. The only thing that I didn't like about it was I went onto the Facebook to check the Facebook, and there was not a lot on the Facebook, just a couple, 3 pictures. And I'm like, I don't like that. But it just, nothing really red flagged me. And the same with Dana. She's like, no, it seems legit. I'm like, okay. So then he comes back and he goes, it says that they're sending you a message that there was a problem with your account. Well, I had just set it up, and I thought, okay, well, maybe I did something wrong. And I says, okay, I'll check and see if I got an email. And I'm like, nope, no email. And he goes, well, check your spam account. And I go, yeah, I did. And so then I'm over on PayPal looking for anything weird, and I didn't see anything weird. And then he says, they just sent me this message that they couldn't process it because it was a new account, which it was. He said, because it's a new account and there has to be a minimum $200 sales before they can process it. And I'm like, why would they send him that email?
No, that's not right.
And I got onto PayPal, and they've got a phone number you can call. I called the phone number, and I got through to a customer service agent immediately, which shocked me.
Yeah.
So I tippy to the guy, and I go, just a moment, I'm calling customer service to see if I can get this fixed. So customer service comes on, and I tell her what's going on. She goes, that is a scam. Block it. Don't give him any information. They're going to ask you to click the link and put the $200 in there. Because he even did a screenshot of that he had paid the money to my account, and and I'm not showing a payment on my end.
Yeah. Wow.
And I'm like, oh.
Good. I'm glad you got onto customer service really quickly too. Because
Well, there's no way I would have clicked a link on his end.
No.
There's no way. But it looked legit. It looked
Yep.
legit.
And, oh yeah, they're getting very crafty.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So
I
have
malware bites. I have malware bites on my computers, and they send you emails about products and stuff like that. They always have links in there, and I think you're supposed to be protecting me and telling me don't click on links that are in emails that are in this and that, and you're putting links in your emails. And PayPal does the same thing.
Yeah.
Check out our latest terms and services and all that sort of thing. It's like there should be no links in emails. You should direct us to, look under such and such on the website, but go there yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. That's crazy.
So luckily,
good. I'm glad you didn't get scammed.
Yeah.
How fast did he run out the door? Yeah.
Yeah. And I was surprised when I told him I was getting a hold of customer service. I was surprised he didn't just disappear. But
yes.
And she goes, nope, that's a known thing. So I said, well, why don't you guys have something on your site with a list of known scams so that we can look at that stuff? And then if it pops up, boom, it's just gone.
Yes. Crazy. I've had a look at a couple of YouTubers who do catch scammers and lead them on. I can't think of the gentleman's name at the moment. But it's actually really hilarious how they try to make out that, they want to get paid in gift cards. Yes. Oh, we've overpaid you. You need to get $5,000 worth of gift cards. Like, yeah, sure. That sounds legit.
Yeah.
Well,
and so Judy, my sister who owns the company, the other company that she owns, she's got about 50 or 60 employees there. And one of the things that she does is at Christmas time, she'll give them all $100 gift card for Walmart or something like that, And last year, the year before, she couldn't do it. They would not sell her that many gift cards. So they had to hit like all the different Walmarts and buy like 10 at this one and 10 at this one and 10 at this one, because they thought it was some kind of a scam they were running when they went in there to buy a whole bunch of gift cards all at the same time.
Yeah, or they might have thought that they were being scammed by someone.
Yeah, something. Yeah, they thought something was going on. They would not let them do it. Wouldn't let them do it. But
yes.
Yeah.
And so what was that one for? He was buying some of your earrings or your bags, did you say?
No, one of the bags.
One of the bags.
And I was really excited too. It was one of the Deadhead bags, the Grateful Dead bags.
Right. Oh dear.
He said he was from Louisiana.
How did you go with the Walmart charges from Arizona on your bank account?
I'm still waiting to hear back from the bank. They said it would take 7 to 10 business days. But she was confident because they knew it was a known scam. So I'm confident we're going to get that money back. The other one that was through PayPal, I am not confident we're going to get the money back because it was paid by PayPal through Apple. It was an Apple charge through PayPal. So Apple has to approve it. And that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And because it was charged it was a game. One of those online games where you buy points or extra plays or whatever.
Yeah.
And so over the course of 3 days, somebody racked up over $200 in charges.
No.
out of my checking account. And then the
How is that
Walmart one.
possible?
Yeah, so we had both of our checking accounts on the same week scammed in two different states. But yeah,
I don't know how that can happen.
it was just, I mean, it was just a fluke that happened at the same
Mm.
time. But one was Mister's checking account and the other one was mine.
Gosh. I need
But
to pay more attention to what
and
things are
that's
on my.
exactly it. So I tell you what, I look at every night now. One of the last things I do before I go to bed is I'm sitting here as I look through all of the checking accounts and the charge cards to see what's gone through, because I wouldn't have noticed. And that's what they do. They put little tiny charges on there because most people won't notice a $6 charge or a $10 charge on there. And that's what they do. They put a little one on, and then they put a bigger one on, and then they put a bigger one on to see what they can get before you catch it, and then they move on. And so the game one, the first day it was like $6, and then the second day it was $25. It was a 25 and a 35, and then the next day it was 35 and 55 and 65. And that was the day I caught it. And I'm like, what are all these PayPal things coming through? I couldn't figure. And then I'm like, it's like Apple, Apple, Apple. And then you look it up and you can't tell what it is. It's just a series of numbers. So then you got to call Apple and get them to figure it out.
Wow.
And then once that happened, then I went in and looked at everything. And then I saw the Walmart charge, and I'm like, and there was two of them on the same day. And I'm like, well, this is weird. And it was like, one was 25 or one was like 25 something, and the other was 35 something. And I'm like, this is weird. And it was a Walmart in Arizona, and it wasn't a city that we recognized, because his sister lives down there. And I thought, well, maybe he had her get something for him, who knows? And then I thought, well, maybe it's a pharmacy. And then I got to looking, and there was a charge last month on the same date for 25. And I thought, okay, now this is weird. And I'm like, did you order something from Walmart? Because you know how did you order something and it'll come from a different location. He's like, I did not order anything from Walmart. I thought, well, did I order something? Did I? And it just felt like pharmacy. For some reason, it felt pharmacy. And maybe because it was like last month and then this month, I thought, okay, it's a recurring thing. Nope. And so then when I went to the bank, she's like, nope, you're like the 10th person in here today with this. So, and then I'm like, okay, if you guys know this is a thing, why aren't you blocking them? And maybe they will. But then you have to write up a thing, and they've got to send it through their fraud department and get it approved. And so then she says, so we got to do a new debit card. And she says, so we got to do a debit card on both accounts. And I thought she meant my checking account and his checking account. And I go, no, it's just his checking account. She goes, no, it's both cards. So they hit his debit card and my debit card on his account.
Oh, goodness.
I'm like, how in the heck did they do that? So they're just running cards on a computer, and anything that hits, they're pulling them.
Goodness me.
And then somebody else I talked to, because I sent that thing out to everybody I could think of, and that I had like on my email list or whatever, and my text message list, and my IT lady, they hit her too. When I sent that thing out to check, she said they got me too. She said, and I wouldn't even have noticed it because it was like a $10 charge.
Yeah, wow.
Yep. No, mine was a credit union, Amy. Mine was a credit union. But if it had been my credit card, it would have been instantly reversed. But because it was a checking account, you have to go through the process.
And what's a checking account? Like, I know what a checking account is here, but what's a checking account?
That's my actual money, my money.
Okay.
So we get paid. My money goes into the checking account. I write checks. I go to the grocery store and I pay or whatever.
So you still use checks a lot, frequently?
No, but I mean, like, we have a debit card,
Yeah,
and that debit card, the money would come off the debit card. It's like a check, but it comes
yeah,
out of the checking
the
account.
checking account.
Mhm.
See,
So
we
we have
call it a
checking and
savings.
savings.
We call it a savings account. That's where your savings, where your money is.
Well, we have a separate savings account
Okay.
where
So
typically you don't
yeah,
spend out of your savings account; it just stays there.
right. Savings account in Australia kind of mean that's your bank account. You can have a checkbook attached to it, but you don't usually have what they call a checking account. So you just have an account, which is generally called a savings account. And you could have a checkbook attached to that. But very rarely, I can't tell you the last time I saw a check, a physical check.
Right.
No one uses it
But
these
like when
days.
you go to the store and buy groceries,
Use your debit card. No one does it with.
yeah, but you use your debit card and it comes out of that
Yep.
your
Yes.
savings account.
Yes.
Okay.
It comes out of your savings account.
But like if you're saving up like to buy a car, or you're saving up for a trip or something, is that the same account, or is there a different account?
It's up to the person. I have a couple of accounts. One that just has my debit account that I use for online shopping, and I only put money in that when I'm going to online shop. So there's very limited, like usually less than $100 in there, unless I'm buying something, then I'll transfer some money over to it. I have, with a different institution, I have my regular everyday savings account where I pay groceries, pay bills, and all that sort of thing. And then I'll have another account that's just for savings for, like you said, trips or cars and stuff like that. I keep it separate, but there's no reason why you couldn't have it all in one account. Yeah, and you just have to be disciplined enough not to spend the money that you're saving.
I am not.
Yeah.
So I have a savings. I have so many savings accounts because I want them all separate. I have a savings account for I call it my sinking fund. So it's like I have a little bit of money goes in every month for things that just get paid once a year. So like, okay, it's time to pay the car tax. That comes out of that. It's time to renew my driver's license. It comes out of that. It's time for Christmas presents. It comes out of that. And so that's just a little bit of money every month for each of these different things goes into that account. And then I've got a separate account for emergencies. And, the hot water tank goes out, and that's $1,000 that I wasn't counting on. That would come out of the emergency fund. And then I've got another separate account for vacations. We've got the cruise coming up in May. So the vacation money, so much every month gets put into that. And then when I have to pay for it, that's going to come out of that account. And then once that's paid off, I still have the same amount of money every month going into it to save up for the next trip for when I come see you. Which is probably never going to happen.
We'll meet halfway. We'll both go to South America.
Oh, okay. That sounds good.
Somewhere in South America.
Yeah. And then, boy, I saw a deal today. It was a repositioning cruise, and it was from France it left from France, and it came back to Miami. The cruise, I want to say it must have been an 18-day cruise. And the cruise itself was only $800 per person, which is amazing. And then the flight, I found a flight to France for $400 a person. And I'm like, dang, that was really reasonable. And but it's like the middle of October. So yeah, I can't afford that. But I still look at those all the time. And then I have a separate savings account for big house projects like we need to do something. I still don't know what we're going to do, but we need to do something to the backyard. Whether we're going to have next year, probably next year or the year after, we have to replace the fence, and that's probably going to be $2,000, if not more. So I've got a separate savings account for that. And some of those, like, I can add them all together in one savings account, but like the vacation and the fence and things like that, I can add those all up in one account and just keep track of what's what. But I'm not good at the keeping track of, and I'll end up going, oh, I've got $3,000 in here, you know. So I do better to have a separate account for each one of them.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
and we find here too that if you have accounts like the ones that you just put, you know, $100 in each month or something like that, if you make at least one deposit and no withdrawals, you get a bonus interest rate.
Oh, is that right?
So you might, yeah. Oh, some of them do. So you might get interest rates are really low on savings accounts. Yeah. You might get 0.01% as your regular interest rate, but then these bonus ones you can get up to 5% bonus interest on top of it. So that makes it worthwhile actually to have some of those savings accounts that you only use occasionally, but put money in regularly.
Yeah, Steve, that's because my backyard is that it's that way, so it's over there. That's the backyard that we need to work on.
And of course, the fence is going around.
And the fence is all the way around. Well, actually, it's that way. It's that side of the fence. So all the work that needs to be done is over there.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, well, you guys know me. You know how weird I am. So, but it's, yeah, if I was one of those people where I could just put it all on paper and put everything in the same pot, but I just can't do it. I have to see. No. I have to see the separate account with the different amounts in them and each account named for it. And that's just my little weirdness.
Yeah, that's okay. If it's not costing you money to have them separated, then.
Nope. And sometimes some of them I even have it separate banks so that.
Oh yeah, same here.
It's just easier. It's just the long-term stuff I have it at a different bank, where the more short-term stuff that you know, like if I'm going to need a Christmas present or if I'm going to need a birthday present, the sinking fund stuff I have at the same bank as my bill paying stuff. So then I can transfer money over easily if I spend that money.
And of course, having separate accounts too protects you a little bit from the online scammers and the scammers. Absolutely. And stuff. Have everything in just the one account.
Yeah. And all my business stuff is at the other bank too. The other. Hey, Miss Susan.
I've been feeling a bit lost this last week and a half. My desktop computer.
Oh, you poor thing.
And I've had it for 10 years. I was still running Windows 7. So took it to the repair guy that we've been using for a couple of decades. And he said, yep, motherboard's fried, CPU's fried. I can recover your data, but you need a new computer. And because we're rural, we don't have anywhere. We've got probably one, maybe two places that if you bought a computer from them, you'd be paying almost half again what you'd pay in the city. So this guy's going to build me one, thinking about specs. So it's been nearly 2 weeks without this thing, and all my videos were on there that I was doing the last of the Shawl stuff for. So that's all on there that I can't access. And I really don't want to record them again because I don't have my editing stuff on my laptop. I hate using my laptop. I hate the trackpads. I hate so much about it. And it's probably going to be another week or so before we settle on the specs for the new computer, plus actually building it for me. And that's going to be
7 feet 1 inch.
7 feet 1 inch. Yep, and I said it was probably going to be 7 feet too, so pretty good.
Yep.
I know,
Yes.
Amy, it's still. And so everything I've been doing is on my laptop. I now have a proper keyboard attached to my laptop because I can't stand the little dinky on the laptop.
Yeah.
It's not at the right angle. And it's just all those little frustrating things that just throw you off filter a little bit. You know, it's nothing major. It's a first world problem, obviously, but gosh, I've been feeling like, and I'm in a different room. I'm in this room for all my stuff now because that's where the laptop is. And I know they're portable, but this is set up just right. Sorry, that's my little blah for the week.
It is. It's annoying as heck.
Yes.
You get everything just right. And
yes.
I remember when the laptops first came out and I'm like, oh no, I wouldn't like that at all. I like my computer.
I'm still like that. And also the thing that's playing on my mind is I really liked Windows 7 and now I've got to go to Windows 11 and all. And it's like I don't want you to learn something new because that takes time away from actually doing.
Yeah.
But I do like learning things. And a lot of my old software isn't going to work on the new one. So I'm looking around for new editing programs and stuff like that. And it's just all time that takes away from my knitting and crocheting and designing. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I do lots of things. Like I on my desktop, that thing that I did for you, the chart, the cross stitch chart, that probably took me twice as long on my laptop as it would on my desktop.
Yeah.
Because I had to use a different program and I had to use the trackpad and all that sort of thing.
Yep.
And you do something and then it would just undo itself and you think, what the heck did I just press? What button did I lean on?
Yes.
Yeah. And I've not been impressed with Windows 11 from what I've seen on others. But then in a year's time, it'll all be water under the bridge and
Yep, you'll be all used to it and teaching us how to use stuff. All right, let's see how long this thing is from the one that I'm using. Whoops. It's saved. Yeah, I know it's saved. So now go to it. Okay, here we go. I'm sure she's going to tell me how long it is, right?
Who?
So how long is it going to take you to get it back? How long?
Me? Get what back? I'll get a new computer.
Yeah.
It's probably going to take another week and a half.
Oh, that's not too bad.
It'll be almost a month then without my desktop. That's if he gets back to me. He's pretty busy. Even though we're a small town, he's still pretty busy. It took him 2 or 3 days from when I took it in for him to actually look at it and diagnose it, what was wrong with it.
Well, now wait a minute. She says to chain. Oh, she says 450 for DK. So I added 100. She says 450 for DK. So I added 100 for
and how long's hers?
I'm looking. That's what I'm trying to find out.
The finished width or length?
I'm trying to find out. And of course, she's not telling me.
Is this way and length is this way. So if it's that by a lot, then obviously this is the width and that's the length.
Come on, quit with the ads. 104 inches.
104 inches for 400 DKs.
And how many inches did mine end up just being? 7 feet, 1 inch?
Yeah, so 85 inches.
85 inches.
So that's way short of what hers. So hers was 104 inches, was it? Did you say? So basically 20 inches short. So another 1.5 feet. My goodness. But that just seems so wickedly long.
Somebody told me they found yarn inspirations. Okay. Oh, now I have to go to. Now I got to go look at something else. Pinterest. PIN. 104 inches. 13 by 104. And she takes this thing. Yeah. Okay. Because she puts it on. Where's my tape measure? She puts this thing on like this and then wraps it around like this and then wraps it around like this and then puts it on like that.
Okay. And so where have you ended up there?
2 of these. So that's almost 120.
So this one goes up the body and across.
Mm-hmm. And this thing wraps around. It's one of these. I am going insane, you guys.
I'd like to see it unwrapped, not on someone. So we'll see it both on them, but then also laid out.
Right. So it's like that.
Mm.
I've got other pictures. I've got other pictures with it laid out.
Yeah.
So like this, so let me get rid of this. Hold on. Let me get rid of this. So like it's basically like that.
Wow. Okay.
So how long is yours, lady? Yeah, this is a really good image. So like this, she's wearing it like that, or and then it's wrapped around her back. No, it's not a
I'd like to see
poncho.
someone. I'd like to see someone putting it on because I just can't
I
get my
know.
head around.
And I did see a video one time of somebody putting it on. Steve, if you look up a wedding shawl, a wedding scarf.
A wedding scarf, did you say?
Yeah. That's what I keep searching.
Okay.
Scarf with sleeves. And then a ton of them come up. I just couldn't find one done in fingering weight, and that's why I was guessing. Scarf with sleeves. And I think I finally found one diagram where it just was a drawing of the thing laid out.
Because my head doesn't want to understand how you wear it, how you put it on.
Yeah.
Mm.
This is a pretty good picture.
No, I'll probably have to look at it myself. Do you want to send me a link to that one and I'll have a look at it later to see? There's a bit of glare on the screen as well.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, a lot of ease would be needed for it, as Steve said. Mm. And so it's almost like a cocoon cardigan that also covers the front.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And
So,
somebody
I
the other
definitely
day told me that was it Knitspirations did have one that they did have one that was done in
fingering weight.
yeah.
Yeah, we want to get the length sorted out before you get too far with it.
Yeah.
And so you may even need more yarn.
Well, I can buy more yarn. That's not a problem.
Yeah, lucky it's a pretty neutral color that should match up.
This is the one. Sleeve wrap scarf. Yarn. And see, this one uses worsted too. But
have you tried putting fingering weight in the search box?
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you think about it, this really does explain it well. It's basically a big long rectangle that you sew the ends together.
Yes, that's true, but it's the
really there. That drawing really explains it.
I understand what it looks like,
Yeah.
but actually physically putting it on is what confuses me. A person's height plus 12 to 24 inches or more, depending on how tight. I'll look at that afterwards and see what I can figure out on how to actually put it on.
Oh,
put your arm in, goes around. No. But then how do you get your arm in the other sleeve?
Well, I think because you put it in one and then you wrap it all the way around and you put it in the other one.
Oh, wrap it all the way around again so it goes past your back twice.
I guess. That's why it's got to be so long.
Yeah, that would. I'm assuming you just sent me the link for that.
Size and yardage chart. Here we go. She only needs a medium. She's not very big. This says 98 inches wide. Worsted weight.
Well, the inches isn't going to change because of the weight of the yarn.
Right, but everybody is
giving you measured like
stitch
counts in for worsted weight.
Yes, Susan, that's what I'm working on. And now that I've got 2 rows done, we think it's not long enough. However, I mean, it would be easy enough to add on at this point. Because honestly, I could do the scarf and add cuffs on later. I could do cuffs sideways. Because some of the
if that's all that you were short.
Huh?
You could if that's all you were short were 2 sleeve length, 2 cuff lengths.
Yeah, because do a 10-inch cuff on each end. That'd be 90 inches.
That's going up an awful long way on your arm. 2, 4, 6.
Don't you make a scarf and put mittens in it?
So on me, that's going almost from my wrist to my elbow is 10 inches. So even halving it, if I folded it over, it still goes 5 inches would go here on my, from here to here. But then I'm a shorty, so.
How much is 140 centimeters?
Oh, gosh. Throw that at me. 30, 40. I don't know. My mind's gone.
And put it on your calculator.
$55 inches. I should have known that. I'm only 157. Yeah, so 55 inches. So that would be halfway, would it?
56 inches.
55 and a bit.
Ugh.
Don't go by the 56 is rounding up because most people multiply by 2.5 or divide by 2.5. It's actually 2.54, and the 0.04 is actually significant. It's not just a little, we can just round it out to 2.5.
That's true. It's going to be a little stretchy.
Yeah. And again, to like not just the height of the person, but their width as well. I mean, you could have someone like that, or you could have someone who's that wide, across, and it's going to make a difference, even if they're the same height.
Mm-hmm.
What would her proportions be compared to you?
She wears a medium, so
she wears a medium, and height-wise,
about the same height.
About the same height. So yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go. I can't think about it now.
Yeah, it does it gets overwhelming sometimes. Like it's like, oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, so yeah, it was lucky that even now that you did add, a couple of hundred to what or 150 to what I did.
Mm-hmm.
on the shawl. Yes. Yeah. Definitely, Sue. Yeah.
I know, and it doesn't take much for my brain to implode.
But at least we know that your gauge is pretty spot on. So we
Yes.
know that you've got 25 stitches to 4 inches, and
Mm-hmm.
that to so over 540 chains, that gave you 85 inches
Mm-hmm.
in length. And it could scrunch a little bit more once you get the ribbing in the pattern. Although I didn't find that it shrunk in too much from the Irish shawl pattern.
Mm-mm, not too much.
No. Mm. And is it true that your height is actually your wingspan as well?
I think that's a pretty common thing, unless somebody is really unproportioned.
Yeah, like if their knuckles are dragging along the ground when they walk.
Yeah.
Just go. Let's see. A little bit short. Yeah, an inch or two shorter than mine. It always amazes me that from your wrist to your elbow is your shoe size. And I look at mine, I go, but that's whopping big, and I've got small feet. But it works if you put your foot up there. It's from
Mm-hmm.
your heel to your toe is wrist to elbow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So if I did it like this, and I do the 100 and whatever inches it says, that would be an extra 6 inches that I need for the cuff, which would be just about right.
Sorry, if you did it with your 500 stitches.
Well, according to whatever I just looked up. I've lost it. She said it needed 108. No.
Yeah, there was one that said 104. Yours is 85, so you're 20 short, really. So it's a foot and a half.
Scarf with sleeve. This one says for a medium, it was yardage size. Come on, where's that chart? 98 inches long. And I'm at...
Yeah, so you'd get there basically. If you added another 6 inches either side, so 12, you'd have 97. Yeah.
And so I could basically make this into the shawl body.
Yes.
And then add 6-inch cuffs on either side.
Yep. Is it going to be a surprise?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to give it to her to shower.
Hmm.
But I bought her shirts several times, and I always get her a medium.
I'm just wondering, like, the length of the cuff. But you could always add, like, if it was too short or too long with the cuff, you could adjust that after the fact. You could.
Yeah, and I mean, every picture that shows these, the cuff is quite long on them.
Yeah.
It's about like this.
And that's about where 6 inches would come from. Well, Yeah, probably there for me. So
Mm-hmm. And honestly, I don't see why at this point I couldn't just add a stitch on the end and just do 6 inches on either end. Just chain 6 inches on either end. Because I'm only on row 2.
yeah, you could.
And then I'd be fine.
Hmm. Yep.
What do you think, Steve? If I was 8 or 10 rows, 8 or 10 inches into it, maybe not. But I think at this point, I think that would be fine. I just, yeah. Just like this. I'm just gonna add it on because I'm gonna go sideways, and I'm gonna do, because this stitch is different than this anyway. And I was gonna do about 50 stitches for my cuff anyway, and it's back loop anyway. I'm just gonna do that.
So 50 would give you 8 inches. So you probably need 75 stitches extra. If the width that it is at the moment is enough for the shawl part without the cuffs, then
it's almost exactly enough for the shawl part without the cuffs.
Right, and then you want to add 12 inches.
Yeah, I would add 6 inches of cuff on either side.
So are you adding them on either side, or are you adding it on one side?
I would add 6 inches on one end, and I would add 50 stitches on one end and 50 on the other.
50 stitches will give you about 8 inches.
Okay, then I'll add 40.
Yes. Because you were 25 stitches was 4 inches.
Well, it has to have cuffs, Steve. That's the point of it. This is not going to be long enough. I'll wrap this around. I can't wrap around Morgan. She's in bed already. I think she's in bed already.
Knock on the door. Morgan, are you awake? Are you in bed?
Yeah. I can do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then I'll see what it looks like. And where am I? Monday. I'm trying to think if I'll be around anybody skinny tomorrow. I have lots of other things to work on. Oh, I know. I know what I can do. We'll figure it out. Oh, you and me both, Linda. No, I just placed it. I didn't stretch it because I didn't want it to be. So I can lay it down on the bed and measure it again. Oh, she's awake in there. What day is this? Sunday? Yeah, she works tomorrow. She had a rough day again. Nothing new. But usually it shrinks up a little bit when you're working on it, right? I've got a 6-foot long shawl. I can wrap that around and see what it does.
You could also, if the 6-foot one, you could use a couple of the little locking stitch markers and make some cuffs and try to put it on as one of those shawls and see how short it is.
Yeah.
How much short it is. Yeah.
Okay. It'll stretch when I'm working on it. Okay.
Well, depends on the stitch.
I will bring home my. Hello, Maritza. I will drag Miss Morgan to the shop with me. Is she going to be with me on Saturday? I'll make her try on the shawl that's sitting at the shop. I will measure it. We'll use some locking stitch markers, and we'll put it on as if it's a shawl with a cuff, and we'll see how that works.
This is your Irish shawl?
Mm-hmm. Because that's the pattern we're using for the body. And then we'll see how that works.
And how wide was yours?
I think it's 6 feet. I think it's 6 feet. I can't remember.
Susan Robin's doing it in her same pattern as her Irish
The Irish shawl.
Shawl. Yes, there it is.
Yeah. If she chooses to only just wrap it around her shoulders, then it would be as much as if she wants to wrap it all the way around her whole body. Depends on how cool it is.
What time of day is the wedding? Is it an afternoon,
From
evening?
4 to 8. So in the evening, it could easily be cool.
You can get cool.
In May.
And how low down, like how much skin's exposed at the chest level?
It's sleeveless.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So a wraparound one, if it is cool, would be beneficial. Like if she had material up here, probably get away with just around the wraparound shawl. A shawl with sleeves, a cocoon type thing. A little bit more designing there. Can you bring the shawl home from the store? Are you going to be at the store before Saturday? Yeah. Oh, just when you said take Morgan with you Saturday.
She goes with me every Saturday anyway.
Oh, okay. So at worst, it's next Saturday.
That's no big deal.
Yeah. Gotcha.
We've got room there to spread out and dink around and take some pictures and I will see. She'll be at the shower, so I can eyeball her and surreptitiously, stand next to her and, put my arm next to her and do some things. Surreptitiously take some measurements.
Yes. Give her a big bear hug, wrap your arms around and think, well, where do they go? My arms go to her elbow, or to my elbows.
Yeah, I'll put my arms around both girls and get a big hug and see exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Get a picture next to them, and then we can use one of those measurement tool things to see how big it is.
Get a side on one too, so we know how thick she is this way, so we can measure. But like Steve was saying, the fabric is going to be stretchy. Like the Irish shawl itself is quite a stretchy fabric. So if it's an inch or two measurement-wise, it's probably still going to stretch to fit her anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So now here's another option. What if what if I hold the yarn double? Is that going to make that's not going to make any difference, right? That's just going to make it thicker.
It's going to make
I still need it to be as long. So that's not going to help anything.
I mean, you might need to change. You'll need to chain fewer stitches, but it still needs to come to that length.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I need something easy to do. I need to make a square.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd want to make a granny square. Ever.
So what was the other pattern that you were thinking of doing for the second elven square?
Oh, so I did one and I liked it a lot.
Where she just uses the excuse, oh, my baby grandkids are growing up and I just need another cuddle before you're off. And yes.
So this is the first one and I finished it.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And I like it a lot, but it takes a lot of yarn. And then the second one I found, oh, you can't even hardly tell what it is. The funny thing is it's a bunch of V stitches. Yeah, you can't even see it. This is sort of the beginning of it. You can't even see what it looks like. But basically it's V stitches everywhere. You can see it here, but when I get it done, I'll show you.
I have seen a V stitch granny square. Was it Play Hooky with Me or Hooked by Robin?
I don't think it's Hooked by Robin.
Play Hooky with Me.
Where's my photos? Where do I have that photo? Made by Goody. Gootie is this one.
Oh, okay. I'm sure there are plenty of people.
I'm sure there's a billion of them. And even that doesn't show it very well.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty. It looks much prettier in person.
And what's that one called? It's called a V-stitch granny, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm working on round 3 right now, so it doesn't look like much until you get to about round 4 and 5.
Right.
And at first I thought, oh, this is not going to look very good. I mean, no, I like the way it looked, but I thought it's going to be hard to attach it to another square. And it was funny because it was part of a square exchange crochet along. And then what she did was she did a single crochet all the way around as a finish. And I'm like, oh, that'll work. That will work. So we'll put this down and grab this. But I've got 15 of my 20 original singles done now. So I can, I'm getting there. I'm getting there, Steve. Yeah, I don't have any of that fabric that I can do. But boy, my head hurts now. My head's a spinning. We had a good time today, though, at our little meetup. This group today normally meets at a library, and the lady that runs the meetup couldn't do it. So I says, hey. And it's real hit and miss how many people are going to be there. And so the last time I went with this group, there were 6 people. I was one of them, and the lady that runs it was one of them. And so I guess there were 4 of us today, and 4 out of 6, knowing one wasn't going to be there. So that was a pretty good group. And I knew 2 of the ones were going to be there. And so there was a third that I didn't know was going to be there. So that wasn't bad at all. And I felt like we had a really good time. And they said they had a good time. And They stayed for 2 hours, which is the normal time that they would have stayed at the library. It's a set time. You know, when I do my Saturdays, it's a little more loosey goosey. I'm like, well, we close at 3, so I don't care how long you stay, as long as you leave at 3. And everybody was working. I never did see what the one lady was working on. One was working on socks, the other one's working on a sweater, and I was working on my hat, struggling on my hat with those floats, but I think we've got that figured out now. And that was funny because the lady working on her socks, she was saying she got 10 rows done in the 2 hours we were there, and I got about 10 stitches done. But I was having a significant issue. So, plus I was dealing with those candles. But it was, you know, it was nice. We had a nice visit, and we talked about some books that one lady was starting a new book, and so everybody was looking that book up and downloading it, and she was talking about a book club that she's in. She says, but they never, all the books that they want to read, she's just not interested in. And, you know, she's like, I want to read this book and this book. I'm like, and we were like, oh, that sounds like fun. Oh, that sounds like fun. And so it sounds like we need to get our own book club. Yeah. And
there's one lady I follow on YouTube, and she it's not part of her channel, but she does recommend books, or she'll tell you what she's reading. And I couldn't put this down. It was fantastic. And I'll look at them and read the reviews on Amazon, read the blurb, and read a sample of it if I can. It's like we have totally different styles of books that we enjoy reading, because not one of them that she's recommended would I think I'd read and enjoy. Yeah.
Well, like for instance, the one that she was saying that the last one they were reading, it was different ways to kill your husband, and she's like, that's the last thing I need for somebody to find on my book reading list. And I'm like, no, which book was that?
Well, Steve and I watch a lot of true crime and things like that, like Snapped and Murder in the Backyard and all that sort of thing. And they'll mention something in there, and I'll go, I'll just Google that, you know, I'll get my phone out and I'll do. So if anything happens to Steve and they look at my search history, it's like, how long does it take to die from arsenic poisoning? How long does it do this? You know, can you do this? And it's like, yeah, it doesn't look good.
It doesn't look okay. You guys are going to be on my Be Real tonight. Okay.
All right.
On my live. There we go. Oh, yeah.
So I've been crocheting. I've only got this whole nearly 2 hours. I've got one row done that I've done twice on a beanie. This is so it's not even many stitches. It's only 72 around, I think. And this yarn, this is the Bendigo Whisper yarn. That's a 17 micron pure wool.
Ooh.
And that's the one that I sent you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say that.
Yep, I've ripped it out and ripped it out and ripped it out, and it's not fuzzed up. It's not done anything. You know how some of them, like you can tell after about 5
you
times,
tell you barely
touch
it and it looks terrible.
Yeah. No, I'm really impressed with how this is holding up. And I only have one skein of this one, which is why I thought a hat would be good in there. But yes, I have a problem sometimes with Bag-O-Day's sizing.
Oh, sizing, yeah.
just the sizing. I've made one following her instructions exactly a couple of years ago, and it's just a bit tight. So I thought, okay, this time I'll start out with a 0.5 millimeter larger hook, which is great for the top part, but then it was really baggy around here. So I've ripped out about 5 or 6 rows on that, and then went down and did one more increase row, and we'll see how it looks. But yeah, it feels really good. And I'm not a hat person, so you won't see me wearing it because, yes, it won't look good. But as I'm getting older, I'm getting colder, so I figured next winter I'll probably be wearing hats. I'm already starting to wear scarves and neck warmers, and that was never did that in the past, and the shawls. So
Yeah.
I'm dragging my rocking chair out into the sun with my shawl on, sitting in the sun, warming the old bones.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a nice day today. It's probably in the low 70s.
Oh,
which is
that's
nice.
nice.
Nice, yeah, t-shirt weather.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put that one aside. Yeah. And I have some more yarn coming. I have I'm not sure. I'll show you the yarn. I'll just grab it. I hadn't planned to.
Hi, Chandler. Thanks for joining us.
So what would you call this type of yarn? Is that what they call applied yarn? When it's different colors, you know how like there's a strand of...
I don't know what they call it, but I know what you're talking about. Steve, what do you think?
What would you call? Oh, okay. I'll check out
Marled.
Sunita's
Yes, marled.
Marled. Thank you. And so there's a blanket that I want to make with this. This is 100% wool. A little bit scratchy, but it's not too bad. But I haven't been able to source something that coordinates with this. So I'm going to try and make my own plied yarn.
Mm-hmm.
And so that yarn is in the mail. It's coming from Bendigo as well. They're the same ones who did that.
Yeah, that other
yarn,
one. Mm-hmm.
This one. And see how we go. I haven't plied yarn before, so if next time you see me, I'm all covered in tangles, or if you don't hear from me for a couple of weeks, it's because I haven't.
She's all tied up.
All tied up. We'll see how it goes. I did think of just holding them together, but I think that it would look better actually plied rather than just holding the 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm doing 3 different weights as well, or 2 DKs and 1 fingering weight just to get the right texture. And I've never done anything like this before, so.
Oh, fun. New stuff.
Fun, scary.
Steve says to try Sunita's hat, Burst of Kindness. Size to fit, but it looks a bit like that one.
Yeah, I'll check out Sunita's. Like I said, I don't make many hats. Not for myself anyway. And if I make them to donate, I just make them as they are because it will fit someone. They've got range from kids to females, adults, adult males, and anyone. So it's bound to fit someone will like it. So I know my son has a larger than average head, and so does my husband. Mine tends to be a bit average. And I think Crystal has a smaller head, or either that or likes them really
tight,
close to a head.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe that's it.
Whereas I really don't know what I like. And I have I have a cousin, a second cousin, who wants I think it's called most people a Tammy hat. It's kind of like a beret. It's a Scottish hat. I can't even think what its real name is. Tam O'Shanty.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a beret. And she
Mhm.
has one that her grandmother gave her 20 odd years ago, and it's looking really, really scruffy. So she wants to see. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
thinking
we call
Tam.
them a tam, but there's a
Mhm.
longer name that it's from. Anyway, she wants at the end of winter. She wants me to see if I can, or ask me, not wants me, if I can duplicate it for her. So that will be interesting. So
So
what's the ratio of hand
yeah,
to head
hand
proportions?
to head thing. Now you got to explain to us.
Yeah, you got to get into it a bit more than that. Oh, he just wanted us to be glowing like
Yep,
this.
we just wanted to do this so he can laugh at us.
So we used to do this when we were kids. What's this? What is it, Robin?
It's the opposite of this.
No, this is a brain eater. What's it doing? Starving. Yes.
Oh, Tamashanger.
Yeah, that's why everyone calls it a tam. Oh, okay. I shall definitely watch. I'll go over there now, actually, and so I can bookmark it.
And then I'll wait for you to explain it to me.
Okay.
Steve, whatever shall I do when I finish all these squares?
Which squares are they? Oh, those ones. You'll have to send them out to people.
Yeah. Mr. said, don't tell Dana, she'll give you another assignment.
Yeah. Palm.
You know, I think I've heard that before now that you say it. From ear to ear. Palm
Palm from ear.
is mid-head. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep, it sure is. Just like that.
Yeah,
Right there.
so two of those. But then how am I going to hold my hat and go like that to see if it fits? Like, but how do you do that? It's too scrunched up. It's too small. I don't have a model. I can't put it on my husband's head. He'll stretch it out. Wrist to fingertips, middle head for hat.
Yeah, so you just hold it like this. Hold the hat against your.
Ah, okay.
No, put the hat flat. Hold the
It
hat
is flat.
There. Now, the tip of the hat to your fingertip. Hold your hand like this and put the hat against it.
Like that.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The flat side.
The
you're
flat
making
side.
this way harder than it needs to be. There you go.
And so, okay, so that should be to the top of my ears.
Yeah. So, like if this were a hat and it were folded flat, you would hold it just like this. Like this up against
Oh,
your
it is
head.
kind of, it is actually to the top of my ears.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. So, like if this were my hat and I was holding it flat, that's how big you'd want to make it.
Okay, that's that big. And now we're coming down here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got to think. I do not suit hats.
You look lovely no matter what.
Pardon?
You look lovely no matter what.
Oh, I don't know. Robin, give me a kissy face with smiley eyes. There was I was
One
writing
of
a
the
comment on
emojis.
someone's YouTube video, and there was one emoji I couldn't see what it was properly, and I hovered over it and said it was a kissing face with smiling eyes, and I thought, how on earth do you do that? Now, everyone who's in here needs to try it and see if you think it feels like a kissy face with smiling eyes or someone who's drunk and it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, because it looks nothing like it to me. And I sent Robin a picture. She said, oh, you look cute. And I'm going, okay, I think you need your prescription changed. Yeah, I don't like slouchy hat. Yeah. I felt like a fish. It was kind of like I thought, okay, I'll smile first and then I'll make the kissy face. So it's like no, that's horrible. So I'll kiss first and then smile. And
It's
either
not
way,
good.
it's pretty scary.
It's not good.
It's not good. Yes. It was
Yeah.
but it kept me laughing for a while, so that was good. Trying it. Yes.
Not good.
Dear.
Ugh. So is anybody what's everybody working on? Steve, are you still making those? Weren't you making hats?
And Linda, how are you going with your shawl? Steve,
Yeah.
had you finished yours, hadn't
We had
you?
one row to go to finish.
Hmm. I'm not very adventurous with crochet hats or with crochet stitches as much as I am with knit stitches, because crochet is my I can do it, but I don't know enough stitches to actually design.
Mm. Oh, Amy's going to finish her hat and
Nice.
scarf set tonight.
Is that for you or is it being gifted?
Yeah, who's it for? And what color is it? So everybody tell me, what are you working on? Who's it for and what color is it? How's your son's blanket coming along? La, la,
My
la.
son's blanket. Oh, whose
Mm-hmm.
blanket's this? My son's?
Uh-huh.
Oh, he's got it. Oh, I haven't. Oh, yeah, ages ago, a month ago when I
No,
went down to.
you just started it.
No. Oh, this blanket, this one. Sorry, this isn't for my son.
Oh, I
The
thought it
tutti
was.
frutti type one.
Yeah.
No, this isn't for my son.
Oh, I
Um,
thought it was.
this one, it's coming along really well.
Wow, I
It fell
guess.
into a pattern of a green, blue, purple for quite a few rows. And I think that was where I joined another ball. So it sort of had a peacocky kind of look
That's
to it.
pretty.
But yeah, it's I really like it. And it's so
Mhm.
easy. I should have been doing that instead of trying to do my hat while we were. And even this had maths involved because the lady Bieber Blankets, I think is her YouTube handle,
Oh yeah.
just said I started with X number of chains to do a rectangular blanket, but she didn't give the size of the blanket. And so I had to do all the maths to try and figure out how to get it to be 120
Oh.
by 160 at the end. I think I'll get the width correct at 120, but it might be a bit longer, which isn't a problem at all.
Oh.
Chicken. So Steve's making chicken things.
It's
Sister.
too hot to put that merino shawl blanket on his lap to finish it.
Yeah.
And then Amy's, your things for
Oh,
charity.
Linda's 12 row 12 of the mock honeycomb. So halfway through the mock honeycomb.
Stuffies, bag holder, bowl cozies. Crocheted bowl cozies?
All cozies. Oh, yeah. Actually, I'll leave this one out. I can do this one while I talk because this one is a mindless kind of one. Do you find if you get into one sort of stitch, so say you're doing half double crochet, round and round and round of half double crochet, or you're doing, say, half double single, do you find it hard to switch then to, say, double crochet single?
If I'm not thinking, if I'm just going, I automatically do double crochets.
Yes.
So like I can't remember what I was working on, and the stitch was a half double, and it's like half double, half, like a whole row of half double, and all of a sudden I've done 30 doubles, and I have to rip them all out.
Yes, and that's what I'm finding, switching between the blanket and the hat.
Mm-hmm.
The hat does back post crochets, and this does the drop double with a single in between. And I find myself constantly trying to do the drop double instead of the back post.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even find the end of this now where I'm up to. Where is it? Oh, that's because I didn't have a stitch marker in it.
Yep.
Yeah. So I like this yarn, and I thought Amber's doing something, an Apache Tears with.
Yeah, she's always doing an Apache Tears.
Yeah, but she did one for her daughter in the retro stripes, and then every other row was white. And I thought this Hobie yarn would go well like that too, with a white or a black as the alternate row.
Yeah. Oh, tomorrow morning's Hobie Bingo. I'm going to try to remember it. I think it's 8:00 here. I was on the website. Hobie Bingo. Do you guys get that there, Cheryl?
Yes, and it's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, so I don't bother. Oh. I used to have an alarm set, and I'd start the app and then I'd turn it over and go back to sleep, but I couldn't be bothered now.
Yeah, at one point it was at a weird time here too, but now they've changed it yet again, and it's better.
So it would be 8 p.m. for you, did you say?
I don't know. I think it's 8 in the morning tomorrow.
Okay, so 8 in the morning. Yeah, that'd still be stupid o'clock in the morning for me, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, there's other. We were looking it up, and it's like different countries have it at all different times. Some countries have it at 2 p.m, and because some of the ladies go to all the different countries and get the points.
And we are with America, so ours would be your time.
Yeah, so that's why it's 8 in the morning for you. Then
I guess the shine for me is rubbed off a little bit with Hobie. They're expensive.
Mm-hmm.
There are other places. I mean, I do go there occasionally, but I have so much of it. Like probably of this Horizon yarn, I've probably got 4 different colours of it and probably 8 or 9 skeins each of those colours. So that's going to last me. I don't need any more of that. And there are other yarns. And nothing special. Like some of them are nice, but some of them are nothing special. Like their DK weight, their Hobie Amigo, it's expensive for 50 grams, and it's, nothing special about it that stands out from, say, Premier Basic, or not Premier Basic, Premier Everyday Anti-Pulling and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, so you got to get the zippers and everything for your bags. Yeah.
So I don't, and the points, their point store's gone ridiculous. I was saving my points for some, I think it's Kremke vegan something or other, but the colours were really nice, and it was a little ball, and they've upped that by 50%, the number of points that you need to get it, and it's like, yeah, I can buy that. I can buy it elsewhere. I don't need to save my points for it. And that was the only thing I thought was worth getting in their point store.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't bother.
Yeah, I was looking at the point store today, and I was a little surprised at the options and how much they wanted for it. There wasn't a lot there.
I'd be interested in them having, say, points that you could put towards postage, even if it was a ridiculous amount of points that you needed to get, free postage or something like that.
Yeah.
I'd be interested for that. Or an extra monetary discount off yarn that you were buying.
Yeah. Yeah, it almost seems like it's just their weird clearance stuff. That they got.
Yes. And they're little things I wouldn't buy anyway, and not buy to get the points. Okay, Linda.
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock, Linda. You got to get to bed. And we're at 2 hours, so that's our bewitching time. So don't forget, we're not having it next week. I have to go serendipitously measure my granddaughter. Bridal shower. And figure out what the heck I'm going to do about this thing. Now I'm all disgusted. I was all very excited. Now I'm disgusted. I thought I had it figured out. Why can't things just work? Good night,
the first time.
We'll talk to you soon.
Bye, Linda.
Send me a message tomorrow, Linda, and let me know how your daughter-in-law is doing. This week has flown by. I've got to check my calendar. I think I've got a busy week. I had a kind of a nice week this last week. I did a lot, but I didn't have a lot of appointments. I think next week I do. So thank you guys all for popping in and listening as to us ramble and making my brain hurt with all that math and talk of measurements. And we will talk to you guys soon. I think I got a video set up for Wednesday. I hope I do.
So you have something set up for when?
I think for Wednesday. I think I've got a video set to drop on Wednesday.
Oh, I thought you said, okay. I thought you were scheduling a live for Wednesday.
No. I don't have one scheduled. I may pop in and do one. We'll see how things go. But we'll talk to you guys later.
Okay. Bye, Annie, Sue, Susan, Linda, Steve.
Good night. Thank you.
Bye.